So, Barnet Boys 13 had asked for a video about the shop and my tools. So I'm just going to kind of give you the basic runaround here. This is the shop. The smaller portion of the shop, the inside part that's heated. And as far as tools, there's a lot of tools, but there's not. There is and there isn't. Kind of depends on what you're looking for. I keep I keep my orbital sander for painting, and my paint gun is all up there. All of our tire tools, my impact sockets, and my old Chicago pneumatic impact wrench. All of the tire repair stuff, and valve stems and things like that, tubes, extras, and that all goes in here. And then next to it, of course, we got the bench with all of the jacks and jack stands, the different wrenches that we use for getting dually rims and such off, these different tools, and different tractor tools. In fact, we've even got an old bead unseater here. And what it's supposed to do is you put it around your bead and reef on this, and it squeezes these two jaws together. Like so. And it's supposed to unseat your bead, but I've never gotten it to work just right, so I just don't use it much. The different 4 bars and things like that. And then, of course, our air compressors. And, it's this air compressor, it's just a simple old Coleman. We've had it for years and years, and it's actually developed a leak now, but we're about due for a new one. Then we took our old compressor, an old Sanborn, and just rigged it up so we've got a spare tank, a pretty good sized spare tank to roll around. Now, oils and such. They're kind of scattered at the moment because there used to be a bench that went right along this wall. That's where we kept all of our oils and fluids. Well, it was kind of an old rotted thing, and it finally fell apart, and I just haven't gotten around to building a new shelf for this wall. I might have Roman do that. And of course you got the desk where I do my paperwork and things, and the Sirius radio in the shop. We gotta like that. And calendars, and we have a phone out here, and the phone book. There it is. And back in this corner is usually where I kind of store my spare motors and stuff, but I had to pull the truck in, so my library cabinet got moved over to here. And it used to sit right here against this little partition here, and any spare motors and stuff. And then, of course, the Intrepids are pulled apart. So we got all the Intrepid parts sitting over here. So, and in the library, I've got all of my different literature. I've got the 73 to 80 Chilton's manuals, some different Chilton manuals for different books. My mobile hydraulics, that's an old college book. Chevette manual, and all the manuals and service manuals and service and repair manuals for all the different pieces of equipment. I've got a book in here for painting and a book in here for my automatic transmission, rebuild. Got a couple of car computers. Oh, those are Intrepid computers. Let's see. Oh, yes. The Heineken beer keg. Those are so awesome. This is our engine picker. And one of these days, I'm going to go ahead and buy a nice collapsible. But I actually picked this engine picker up at an auction for, I think it was like $20 or something. It was pretty awful cheap. And it's a good one. It's a 12-ton, and it'll lift about anything you hook it up to, but it's just so big and ungainly, and it's hard to get around if you got a car in here, and with the bike back there, you don't want to keep all the engine stand and everything back there because it clutters up. Not that I'm much uncluttered right now. And then we got the tool chest. Now, not all the tools are put away at the moment, but we got a pretty decent set of tools going on here. All of our 1/2-inch drive standards, and then the 3/8-inch drive standards, along with all the flex heads, the universals and such. And then you go down and you got your deep wells, and then your 1/2-inch 1/2-inch drive metrics and your 3/8-inch drive metrics and your 1/4-inch drive metrics right over here. And then you've got crescents and standard size wrenches down below, metrics up above. Now I don't have room for all of my metric tools like right here. This rack only holds so many, so I've got some different sizes that I keep in my rolling tray here, right there, and I go up to a 27 millimeter and down to an 8.5-inch drive, and then up to, I believe, a 22 and a 3/8 drive, and down to a 7 and 3/8 drive. But so, and then of course my favoriteest tool in the world, the Impact. That, I'll tell you what, if you got a chance to pick one of them up, that's the way to go. A little bench grinder. Made the stand out of that out of a rim. And of course an anvil and the vise and the welding table here. Don't even ask why the welding table is made out of wood. And another question not to ask is how the hell we have not caught it on fire yet. But then you go over here and we got our welding stuff. If you've seen, I have, I think, one welding video up and I show our old welder. It's a I shouldn't even say for sure, but it's a 1940 something, but it is a Forney arc made in Fort Collins, Colorado. And it's a really good old welder, just an AC, and you know, you plug your negative leads into here for high or low voltage or high voltage, and then you've got your different ranges that you plug your positive into, and makes a hell of a lot of noise, but hey, it works, you know. And of course the oxygen and acetylene, and we've got a tool for spot welding right here, and just some different things like that, and then the different tips, and then of course for repairs and such, we keep a pretty good stock of welding rod on hand, you know, and we don't use a heater, don't have just haven't ever used one, you know, for a rod heater. And I know that we should, but you know, it's just one of them things. But and we keep all kinds of different rods around. You know, we've got nickel rod. Well, back in here somewhere, there's some nickel rod for welding on cast. And we've got anything from 70-18, 70-24, 60-13, 60-10. Just about anything a guy could need, you know, from this size. I think this is, what is this? 3/32 maybe? I don't remember, but whatever size it is, all the way up to rod like that, you know. And then the soldering, the soldering stuff up here.